Tiffany, and welcome to my channel Foxey Sunrise. This is going to be a pick a card reading of messages for those of you who are in separation from someone. I left it pretty vague when I was shuffling. I originally was thinking of, well, by the time I got to this second pile, I was like, oh, maybe I should think of love, but I wanted to leave it open for anyone. So whoever you're coming here to watch this for, that's who it's for. So I have 3 piles, as you can see, and all the timestamps will be listed down below. Pick as many piles as you'd like. Starting from my right, we have, starting from my left, we have pile 1, 2, and 3. So again, pile 1, 2, and 3. And I will see you all at your pile. Hey, pile 1. This is your messages for your separation. Okay, I'm going to start with the tarot first. We have 4 of Pentacles in reverse and Page of Pentacles upright. This feels like a discovery, a new discovery of self-worth. So the separation may be triggering you to focus more on yourself and also to look at some of those belief systems that you still hang on to that create any rigidity into the way you think, into the way that you move throughout life. It's almost like you're releasing all of what you had originally. Like maybe you did have 4, but you're releasing a lot of these that don't really serve you anymore. Releasing these coins, so these ideas, these beliefs, these values. I think values is a better word. And you're just focusing on one. And when I think of one, I think of the self. So maybe these values were other people. You had a lot of value in other people in general, and this separation has kind of triggered you into really understanding this. I'm hearing self-sacrificing. I'm hearing people-pleasing. I don't know why I'm hearing the word subservient. It's a very weird word. Maybe in a sense you're kind of traditional. And now you're re-evaluating what your values really are. And this going from the 4 to the 1 also makes me think of solitude as well. This person looks like they finally have everything that they need, even though it may be less than what they started with. But it's everything that they need for them to start this new journey. And there's a lot of newness here. Through this separation, discovery, a new discovery of self. So this really feels like it's for the best. And maybe you wouldn't have been able to have this pivotal moment, this shift, without this having happened. Acceptance in reverse. I'm getting a couple things here. So some of you may be resistant to what has happened to the separation. Maybe this relationship or friendship or family ship. I want to just clarify that if I say relationship, I just mean it in general, because I don't want to have to separate all of them like that. So I'm just going to use a relationship blanketly. There's like a resistance to this separation. there may have also been a resistance to separate in general, so maybe it happened sort of beyond your control. Maybe the other person decided to separate. Yeah, there's a need for forgiveness. There's another number 4 here, 4 and 4. There's a need for forgiveness, finding stability and forgiveness and releasing. And gratitude is a big word here. I feel that finding gratitude in this situation will lead you towards acceptance. Maybe they're finding the reasons why this is for the best. And then also the other thing that I'm getting is the separation is forcing you to learn how to accept yourself instead of externally trying to find that acceptance. So the acceptance needs to come from within, and that's where you'll find the stability. And that points me back to the 4 Pentacles here. 4 Pentacles in reverse, and the 4 of acceptance. So the stability, which the number 4 is associated with, symbolic of, needs to come from within and not from other people. So I'm hearing the word codependency here. Some of you may have very strong Venusian energy, Libran energy, or Pisces energy. I'm just feeling like a strong romantic or romanticism air about y'all. I have a link down below if you want to look up your astrology chart if you're interested in that. Okay. Movement awakens my creative spirit. Okay. And Neptune. There may be ways that you idolized this person that you separated from. You may have put them on a pedestal. Maybe you're not seeing things clearly. There might be some illusions and confusion around why it happened, or even looking back and reflecting on the situation. There may be some illusions or some fog, some general fog. We have the moon here too, so again, there may be some confusion. Movement awakens my creative spirit. Love matters. This just makes me think of someone who is staying in the mourning phase for too long. Maybe there are a lot of things that you left on your plate unfinished, unabsorbed, unchecked, that you've been wanting to do, but this kind of set you back from doing those things. So there's a need to it sounds so harsh, but there's a need to like keep moving forward, like move on, like movement, maybe not necessarily in the body. If you're called to do that, that's always great too, but we can't stay in bed all day. We can't allow our mind to ruminate more than it needs to over what could have been, what happened, how it happened, if it was out of nowhere, like what you did wrong, blaming yourself. There's no need to do that. There's a need to begin finding an activity, finding something that invites you to move, whether that's energetically or physically, mentally, like reading a book. But maybe not reading a book in your room, maybe getting out of your room and reading a book outside or something like that. Just any sort of, even if it's a small movement, there's a need to kind of like invite in a shake-up from what's happened, so you're not like stagnant. Like I'm seeing someone like holding luggage, putting it down, and then just shaking their entire body out. Like, I feel like the issue is the luggage that I'm seeing being put down. So just releasing what happened just for a moment, because I understand how jarring that could be, especially because a lot of these scenarios where we end up in separation, they make a big difference in our lives, and it's almost like by not forgetting it, you're also honoring what happened and cherishing it. But there's other ways to do that, and it doesn't make you heartless or make the situation trivial if you just set it down for a second so that you can focus on something else, like the things that you used to do, or the things that you like to do or were interested in doing, or were excited about. Like, find other areas of joy besides this person. Love matters. I'm getting more of that romantic energy here. That's interesting. So, if you look closely at this picture, she's like really intrigued. Intrigued isn't a strong enough word. She almost is looking romantically at this bird, but then if you look at it, it's in the shape of a bird, but it's not just a bird. It's not really a bird at all. It's like there's nature scenes inside of the bird. There's other things that this bird is to this person. So what I want to say is, what were you getting before the separation that you could possibly give to yourself, where you may be projecting certain things onto this person? For example, maybe you felt more creative and inspired because of this relationship, but it isn't like you can't still be, because it's gone now. That's always going to be within you, and there's always potential to re-spark those things again, but maybe it might take a little bit of extra effort to tap into that, because you might possibly be used to getting those things externally. So it'll take a little bit more practice, a little bit more time to be able to tap into that all on your own. But I just want to emphasize that these people in your life, this person in your life, if you feel that they gave you something, take your power back in feeling that way. Because it's, yes, that person may be gone, but whatever was awakened within you, which is what I'm emphasizing, whatever was awakened within you when they were around can still be awakened when they're not around. You'll just have to kind of turn that energy back inwards, and it'll take some time. So just like in this picture I was explaining, this bird, she might be mesmerized by this bird, but there's more to this bird that she's witnessing, that she's seeing, and because she can see the beauty in the bird, she is beautiful. So there's a real need to rediscover yourself, re-witness yourself, acknowledge yourself. Like, it's not just about the person. It's never about the person. Okay, so I want to pull an affirmation. I am safe to be my true, authentic self. That's so interesting. We have another picture where there's a silhouette of a person, but there's something deeper. There's no face on this person. It's just empty space with tons of potential. That is also you. You're more than who you think you are. You're more than a person who got separated from. That's not even who you are. So there's a lot of potential here, a lot of empty space to discover, and to fill with whatever you desire. These flowers are making me think of like a transformation, a blossoming, a growth, being reborn. There may be a feeling of being in a womb space or a void space, and we can even say that yes, this is space, but there's sort of a void of a person here as well. So that's also very interesting, but she's in a meditative position, so there's a need again to kind of look inside and take some quiet time, some quiet space. And I really feel that this group is very gifted in some way, really talented and very gentle. Yeah, there's a lot that this group has to offer, and I think you will fall in love with yourself as you discover those things. Okay, I think that's it, group 1. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and I hope I see y'all again soon. Hello, group 2. So these are your messages if you are in separation right now from someone. Okay, I'm going to start with the tarot, Hangman, and the Devil. Huh. Wow, okay. This group is viewing a connection from a different perspective now that you're away from that person. Like you're almost more enlightened from this separation. You're able to see the toxicity for what it is. And maybe it kept you stagnant and stuck. There may have been a lack of clarity while you were in this relationship as well, but you're really starting to see things in an illuminated state, in an illuminated way. It may be honestly a little bit upsetting, the things that you're recognizing and realizing about this person. But your awareness is allowing you to no longer be chained. Some of you may not have yet separated, but you're in, like, there's an essence, kind of almost like a I don't know if any of y'all have seen the Peanuts movies, the old like cartoons. I think his name was Linus. There's one kid that was always dirty, and you could see like a cloud around him. That's what I'm trying to allude to when it comes to like this separation. For some of you, there may be a lingering energy of like, okay, I need to separate from this person. I've kind of taken some time to myself, and now I know like I should not continue on with the situation. So maybe you're still on the fence about it, like you know what you need to do, but you haven't done it. But there's definitely this definitely, I'm getting karmic energy, but I'm also, if you have no idea what that is, it's just because that can sound a little bit woo-woo. What I mean by karmic is just like there's a continual pattern of the type of people that you're dating. They may look different, but they're pretty much the same. So with these two like very like pivotal cards, they're major arcana cards, symbolizing like major life events. I feel that for some of you, this relationship has really awakened you to some of the toxicity within you and some of the ways that you've understood yourself to, no, that's not what I want to say. Some of the ways in which you've found yourself in these situations, what you've done to put yourself in these scenarios. So even though this may not be a very pleasant position to be in, this situation has really been enlightening for you. You have reached some levels of enlightenment through going through this situation. Like, you aren't coming out the same person. Like, your eyes are very wide open. Which is also why it can be kind of an uncomfortable place to be. It's a little bit triggering to be in a situation like this. But you can't unsee it. you can't unsee it. There's also an elevation, I feel, when we're coming from the 12 to the 15, from the 12th card to the 15th card. So there's some movement here. And even if it's just awareness, I don't want to, if some of you haven't made a decision yet, I don't want to influence it, but I'm feeling as though that a separation will kind of be will evolve you a little bit more. The awareness is good, but taking an active role and changing this situation, I'll say it like that, that's a better way to say it, will really evolve you even further. Okay, so y'all had two cards come out, blossoming and focus. Okay, so these came out in reverse. That's interesting. I mentioned stagnancy and like not seeing things very clearly. So this situation may have felt good. For some of you, maybe it was even just like a really intoxicating hookup, or just I don't know, a friend that maybe was always into drinking and wanting to go out all the time, something like that. Like, it was fun, but it was very short-lived and very fleeting and very, at the end of the day, overwhelming compared to the things that you want to achieve and you want to focus on. So it's this very distracting situation, and it kept you stagnant. It kept you from really any like true growth. Yeah, I mean, there's still potential for this. It's not gone away, but this relationship, and I'm using relationship blanketly. I just want to preface that. So it could be a family member, a friendship, a lover, but it really kind of like put you at a pause for whatever you were originally doing, if you had some kind of plan prior to this person. Yeah, and I'm feeling an imbalance as well. Like, I don't know. I'm also imagining, like, being around, for example, being around someone, like you're trying to go vegan or you're trying to eat healthier, but you're always influenced. This person has a lot of influence. Some way that you kind of just, some of you may fall for them easily. Like they're very persuasive, like silver tongue, like very persuasive, a seductive person. So my example was you're trying to eat healthy, but for whatever reason, this person always brings these like fatty foods around you, and it's very tempting. And maybe they do know that you want to eat healthy, but you go out, you go and have drinks with this person, and everything's closed. You haven't cooked anything for yourself, and now you're like having to go through the drive-thru to go get some food because that's all that's open. And then after a while, like you've completely like lost track of your focus and your intentions for eating healthy because you're aligning yourself with somebody who is just living a different way than you want to live. I'm hearing like peer pressure a little bit, like very lightly. For some of you, it could be like a need to fit in, or you want to have fun or seem like you're having fun or something like that, but maybe deep down, deeply, you aren't being completely fulfilled. Like I said earlier, it's like fleeting desires, instant gratification. Pluto, fresh approach. Okay, so with this fresh approach here, I'm wanting to allude back to this card of an awakening to a new perspective. It's like all the lights are being turned on and you're It almost feels like there's a cleansing period happening as well. Maybe cleansing yourself of any like ideas that you've adapted from this person, like things that this person may have said or done, or but you're becoming more empowered through this separation or possible separation. I free myself from critical thoughts towards my body and my worth. Okay, so worth. I free myself. So I was saying earlier, like there may have been a need to do certain things because you wanted to fit in, or because I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah, there's a real need to set some boundaries, and that could be through separation or through just communicating with this person if you haven't separated. Taking a step back, because I was saying this person can be a little bit seductive or persuasive, so maybe this fresh approach is going to come alone. Like she looks a little bit, I think her eyes are closed. They might be slightly opened, but it looks like she's taking some time to kind of be by herself and understand what she really wants to do, out of the influence of other people. Maybe this is a friend group. Like maybe it's more than one person. Maybe it's just like a group of friends that you're like, I don't really vibe with them, but I've known them for a while, or I've known this person for a while, and I would hate to just like, not be friends with them anymore, not chill with them anymore. But with the Pluto card here, there's something really wanting to be transformed, and we have the Blossom card as well. There's really something that's wanting to be transformed. But it's going to be hard being around this person or this group of people. And that could be also why, because of this transformation, because of this like shift that you're feeling is happening. And this could be really, really deep. Like, it could be subconscious at first. Like, you just, out of nowhere, you're like, I don't really vibe with this anymore. Like, this isn't fun. And it could be because you're being guided towards a new direction, a fresh approach. Like, you're seeing things differently. This is like a big change that's happening. It's pivotal. And yeah, it may add to your self-worth by setting up these boundaries and separating from these people and realizing, like, I'm gonna figure it out on my own. I'm fine on my own. Like, there's a lot of other things that I'm wanting to do that will really feed me and like uplift me. And this isn't really it anymore, and this sucks, but I'd rather this change over this stagnancy. I'd rather this change and to see where it's taking me over just floating around and being unfocused, like walking around without a focus, a plan, a purpose. And growth isn't really comfortable. Sometimes we do have to let some people go, let some things go. And I almost feel like, and I'm just thinking of this now, like letting some of those people go, like some of those people can come back into your life. I feel like once you've changed, your world around you will begin to change. So I feel like stepping away without kind of like thinking that it's going to be permanent, but just doing it because you need it. And in that action, it'll quiet a lot of noise that may be feeding into some insecurities or feeding into like the inner criticism. Like some of the inner criticism may not have even really come from you, but it's kind of been so deeply ingrained that now it sounds like your own voice. So maybe like, and it could even be your internal compass saying like, I don't vibe with what you're doing anymore. And so maybe some of those criticisms will go away when you start to feed into yourself a little bit more, and allow this change to happen and refocus. Because I really feel a lot of you, and when I say a lot of you, I mean like most of your being is wanting a change. Like, I feel like this group is maybe more open to this separation happening. Ooh. Okay. So your last card is an affirmation card. And it says, I go with the flow and feel my connection to the stream of life. I go with the flow. I go with the flow and feel the connection to the stream of life. That feels really peaceful to me. I feel like you're going to find a lot of peace in whatever decision that you make, as long as you're making it for your own well-being. I feel that you're going to come to a place of peace. And that's what you're moving toward. Peace. And balance, because there's a few depictions of the number 3 here, which can imply a body, mind, spirit, so a balancing of those things. And then I see some 4s here as well, which calls towards stability. And then we have the number 5, which is a number of change and shift. So I think you're shifting towards, or your soul's desiring you to be shifting towards peace. And that may come through separation. Okay, group 2, let me know what you think down below in the comments. And I hope to see y'all in the next reading. Hey, group 3. So these are your messages if you are in a separation, or going through a separation, shall I say. Okay, so starting with your tarot cards, 6 of Wands and Wheel of Fortune. Wow. I'm hearing like finally. Oh my gosh. Wow. I feel like through just, I don't want to say, let me use my words carefully. I feel like there's a sense of relief and also an intuitive sense of like, this has been needing to happen, and I feel so free finally of this. This is almost giving me, and I've been using the word relationship very blanketly, so it can mean any kind of relationship, family, whatever. This, out of all the groups, feels most like someone who is moving out of the house and away from a family that either got on their nerves or was very smothering or not supportive in some sort of sense. Just this feels like a moving out sort of feeling. Like, oh my gosh, finally. Yeah, I feel like this group is very, like, there's some gratitude towards the separation. Like, I finally did it. I have some space now. Like, thank God. Thank God. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Realization. Wow, that's beautiful. I shed habits that hinder my truth. I release and renew. Wow. I feel like whatever separation has happened has also allowed you to separate from some limiting beliefs as well. Like, by separating from this person, you've also separated from whatever ideas and belief systems and even habits, like this card says, that have blurred you from your own truth. So it's like, okay, now that I'm out of the house, I keep using that example, but now that I've moved out, I can finally like build from a clean slate. I feel free to think how I want to think, be who I want to be, do what I want to do. Like, yes, I love them, whoever they are, but I finally can be myself. I feel lighter now. I feel like I finally can shed my skin and be who I'm meant to be. That's really awesome. Yeah, this group feels on the more exhilarating side. Like, it's interesting how the groups kind of got lighter and lighter. So this is really refreshing, but that's a good word for it. Like, this feels refreshing. This separation was a refreshing one. I shed habits that hinder my truth. I release and renew. I release and renew. That's a really good phrase. I release and renew. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cancer. Okay. And shift your energy. Okay. Yeah, so some of you may be like manifesting a move or in the process of moving. Shift your energy in reverse. Okay. I think there's still some emotional shedding that has happened. Some of you have really been able to remove some things, but I think if there is any emotional hoarding and you haven't really come to this like exhilarated feeling, there's a need to kind of lighten the load emotionally so that you can come to this point. And I really feel like this is going to come through reflection. So if you are in a situation where you're moving out and away from people, This makes me think of, like, instead of moving out and being like, fuck y'all, like, I don't give a, I'm trying not to curse. Like, I don't care about y'all, like, I'm out, you know, instead of leaving on that note, like really tying loose ends before you leave. I don't know why I'm getting a strong sense of, like, someone is moving, someone is leaving, someone is actively trying to, like, go somewhere else away from where they are right now. Yeah, so shifting your emotions by forgiving who you need to forgive, releasing whoever you need to release, apologizing to whoever you need to apologize to, even if it's just kind of like within. Yeah, so you're not, like, burning bridges, for lack of a better phrase. So when you leave, it's not like on a bad, like, sour note. It's more of like you're leaving better than when you came. I think that's how the phrase goes. Yeah. Yeah, just don't be recklessly just, like, cutting the people in your life who love you off because you're just, like, really ready to just leave. Like, you're so in your emotions of, like, I'm over it, I'm over this place, I'm ready to go, that you just kind of, like, say screw everybody else. So it's just, like, coming at it from a gentler space and from a space of, as cliche as it sounds, a loving space of love. Because, I mean, no matter where we go, especially if this is a family situation, you never know when you're going to want, because family's always going to be there. I mean, I say that and then I instantly think of people who don't really have that privilege. So I'm speaking from obviously privilege of having a family that, even if I'm being just a tool, they will still be there, and they always tell me nobody's gonna love you like we do, blah blah blah. So even, you know, whatever family means to you, I just keep really getting that strong sense, like, let me know, because this group is really funny. You never know when you'll need those people. One thing, especially if this is about a move, like, another thing that's coming to my mind, another phrase is, like, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget your roots. So, and that goes back to what I was about to say, is, like, you never know when you're going to need to call those people up, ask them for a favor. God forbid, you know, it's nothing crazy or dangerous or severe, but even if it's just like, I really just want to call this person and tell them about my day. It's been a really crazy day and I'm in a new place and I don't know anyone. You know, you never know whenever you'll need to lean on those people. So just remember that as you're shifting. So leave wherever you're leaving better than when you came. Yeah. Okay. Your group is kind of shorter than the other ones. It was pretty straightforward, I'd say. But this group also had cards that alluded to, like, movement. Yeah, that's all I'll say. I wanted to say something else, but yeah. So this group really actually, like, I feel a sense of moving in the future. Like, you're planning a move. Okay. What does group really need to know about separation? I have the freedom and power to create the life I desire. Yeah. Freedom. I just keep hearing, finally, I'm out of here. I'm out of this bit. That's funny. Yeah, this is the most excited about separation that this out of all the groups. Like, there's like a real feeling of like I'm finally like moving on. I didn't think I could do it, but I'm finally moving on. That's really awesome. Okay, I think that is everything. Group 3. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I hope to see y'all at the next reading.